Alright guys, welcome back to Dead Space Part 11. We're back. Alternate solutions. So we just left off, we had a long part there, but we did that little, I think that was, we did the boss thing, right? Last time? We did a little, it was on the side of the ship. Was that last part? I think so.
Was that last part?
I'm not sure. I think so. But yeah, here we go.
Was target practice the last part? No.
No, target practice. Yeah, it was boss. And oh yeah, we're following this guy. Here we go. Who supposedly can help us get out of here, which is always like, you know, it's always a good sign, I guess.
Dr. Terrence, I think.
I believe so. Yeah. Level 5 suit, here we go.
Such a demo.
This is such a fucking glorified demo shit. It's exactly what it is. But I think we got one more suit to go. I don't think this is the last one. It might be, right? Is there 5 or 6 suits?
There's gonna be 5 for this playthrough.
Okay.
But, because you get the 6th suit at the very end, I think.
Alright.
Or, like, on your New Game Plus or something.
Gotcha.
And it's like 60,000.
Cool. Yeah, we got everything here, so... yeah. So I just try to make sure, you know, I was good on money, which I actually have been. Didn't really fall back on credits or anything, so, you know, it was cool. So I'm able to get, like, plasma energy and all that shit out of the way. But yeah. Approaching the end of the game, so shit gets tough. I don't know if it's this part or next part. I think it's... Okay, yeah, this part has a room that's kind of a bitch, but not really. And then the next part, that's the real shit. Like, that is when you have to drag something to room. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's a fucking bitch.
I remember that.
That is literally a bitch. I mean, here's the thing. Now, though, I felt like this when I like did this playthrough, like especially that part, which you guys will see in the next part, the final part, I was much more prepared. I just felt like I was much more ready, because the first time I played the game, like, I was really struggling at that part. Here, like I said, I had enough credits to, like, back myself up with any type of items that I needed, so it wasn't that bad. It was still a challenge, but I don't think I died at that part, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I might have got cheaped, I'm not sure. But the thing is, if you notice, a common theme in this Let's Play is the fact that I die by just, like, the smallest shit. Like, yeah, you're gonna die by a boss? No, you're gonna die by, like, the fucking, the little ceiling smacker things, the grav lifts. It's like, goddamn.
Or the swarms.
The swarms, or, yeah. Or, what was it, the fucking... I got crushed by something, or I got, like, split in half by some environmental kill, so it's always something here. But, yeah.
Always something in this town.
Yep, and right there, I fucking accidentally shot the belly open, so...
Wow, a bunch of babies came out.
Yeah.
'Cause usually it's just swarms.
Fuck glowy. There we go.
Dead Space 4. Glorified demo.
I thought they were gonna announce a Dead Space 4 too. It's like... I just didn't know, like, Visceral Games was doing the new Battlefield, but they are, so... They're still doing shit, but apparently... Dead Space 4 is on their list. Which
and Capcom was a no-show.
Nope, they showed nothing. They said they were going to announce something, obviously hinting towards Resident Evil. Didn't show anything. So, honestly, like, they could release a trailer or something in the next couple of days. Now that, I mean, E3's over, but it's still, like, you know, they could still show something, but... I'll just keep my eyes out open for something to drop. Okay, I remember this part. Here we go. That is the marker. That is pretty much the main thing in this game. That is pretty much what is making this happen is the marker. So Isaac pretty much has to take this off. It's like put it on cargo and take it, because what that guy is pretty much saying is, hey, look, like if you get this marker to down to cargo and like move it, and I'm getting tentacle raped here. Here we go. Oh no, I didn't actually die. I think I just die here because I'm like, yeah, that was bad. But no. So what the guy's pretty much saying is, hey, if you take the marker out and you get this off the ship, the Ishimura, I can get you out of here, as well as what's causing this to happen, which is the marker.
Yeah.
God damn, are you like smacking your plate like with the fork?
No.
Yeah. Dick.
But yeah, the marker is the cause of the necromorph outbreak and the dementia.
Mm-hmm. Which has been reported on several people on the ship that were previously here. So, dementia, man. Usually older people get that shit, but in Dead Space, the marker causes that shit. I died there because I fucked up and I didn't want to waste healing items, so I was pretty much just like, yeah, just kill me. So, but the next, well, especially this part in particular, I'm trying to like stock up and save as much as I can, because I have money, but like I didn't want to spend it all on shit for the next part, because I knew this part was the little section that's coming up in the next part. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. So I was really trying to be prepared. So keep in mind, and I was in the kind of the state of mind of like, all right, I got to prepare for whatever. I just don't know when it's coming. So I did already kind of max out as much as I could in the store, as you guys saw in the beginning of the part, because yeah, I didn't know when it was coming. Yeah, so they just kind of send more necromorphs here, and this, you have to take the marker, drag the marker across, and move its destination. I keep yawning for some reason. I wasn't tired, but gotta get the judge done.
Gotta get that judge done.
Another Prego here. I feel like I have a bad feeling that they just won't continue the Dead Space series. For whatever reason, I just have the feeling they're not.
Why do you feel that way?
Because EA was like pissed off at the sales in the last one. They like expected more, and that can come down hard on Visceral Games, because EA obviously funds them to make games. They work for them, but it's like I feel. I mean, I don't know. EA is just known for doing that. Just like bitching, and then who knows what kind of position Visceral Games is in. I mean, they're doing Battlefield, but they're doing a spin-off of Battlefield. I mean, that's pretty big work, but and apparently it looks pretty good, and I'm sure they can still make games, and that's the thing. I love Dead Space 3. I don't think there's a problem with it, but I just feel like EA is not going to fund them for a game. Like, they're not going to say, they're going to just be like, oh, sales, survival horror, nobody buys it anymore, blah, 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 like, just stupid shit, and it's unfortunate, because, like, I want to see that, really, I do, but
I think it's because people didn't really like the action approach that Dead Space 3 had, so I don't know, did it sell more than Dead Space 2?
I'm not sure. I know it sold like in the millions. Like, it's not like it was like a financial failure, but EA's expectations were higher, and it's just like, what the fuck?
What do they expect?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I just have not a positive feeling, but I just kind of have a feeling in the pit of my stomach where it's just like, yeah, I feel like they're just not gonna make another one. I don't want it to be a series that just kind of fizzles out, but because it deserves so much more. It deserves another trilogy, even, like.
They might make like a spin-off or something, because they rarely ever make a 4.
True.
They'll probably call it like Dead Space Outbreak, and like, I don't know. They might make another one just to show off Dead Space on the next-gen consoles.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like people would actually buy it,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know, what people really expect here with, with, I don't know, whether it's sales or survival horror. But to be honest, like, what do you expect? I mean, survival horror, it's not very like broad and vast. You know, it's not like it's gonna sell like, you know, everything else. But it has a fan base, and I think as long as you have that core fan base, that's what matters. That's really what matters at the end of the fucking day. Because you're going to have people that are buying the game, going to want to play it, going to want to expand the story of Isaac or anything else that they want to explore, you know, whether it's just seeing the new Necromorph changes and seeing, like, how they do everything on each game. That's stuff that I look forward to. That's stuff that I look forward to with the third one, especially, and the co-op was cool, the fact that it was optional, and, like, yeah, there was more action approach, but it was still creepy, too, and I love Dead Space. You know, it's something that you don't get shit in space anymore. It's like Alien Isolation, which we saw clips of the past couple days at E3, and that looks cool. But the thing is like, there's Dead Space and then just that. Like, there should be way more, like, other, well, and Evil Within, but there's not much shit going on in space, and I think space is a great atmosphere to throw horror into, especially in games. I mean, you see it in movies all the time. Obviously, Alien started it, and there's a bunch of copycat movies nowadays, but I think the reason why this works so well is just because of the isolation and the fact that you're alone, and even if you're not alone, you are alone. You know, it's like you have people with you, it doesn't matter. You know, you see other people trying to help you, it doesn't matter. And it would just suck to just see this stop because of EA. I mean, like, EA, they don't really have a good reputation, and justifiably so, because of their, you know, past, you know, being like
online passes.
Yeah, online passes and being like rated one of the worst companies to work for. It's like, you know, people are saying that people voice their opinions for a reason. I doubt anybody would just be like, yeah, like, I just feel like voting this, you know, worst fucking. It's like, no, people obviously, there's a reason why this is here. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't want it to end. I just don't.
They probably feel like they don't want to put in the extra budget.
That's what I'm saying.
For just their core fan base.
Or EA wouldn't really fund them because of their opinions on the sales, maybe. I mean, cause,
well, that's what I'm saying. You know, they have Dead Space has a fan base, but maybe in EA's eyes, that fan base isn't big enough. So, if they were to just make a Dead Space game simply for the fan base, they wouldn't expect many sales, and they would probably it would probably feel like a movie tie-in in terms of quality. Like, it would just have bad graphics and, you know, lots of glitches, mainly because there just isn't enough money to spend on a game that's solely for the fan base. And I think that's what, you know, Capcom's problem is as well. It's like they don't want to put in the extra cash for a game with, like, a smaller audience. They kind of want to reach into the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it's all for money. Like, you put in, like, you know, I don't know how many or how much games cost to make, but RE6, for example, that was a very good-looking game, and you can tell a lot of money went into that game. And that's only because, you know, they wanted it to sell as many copies as they could, so they put in the extra money to make it look as good as they could make it. But if they want to go back to survival horror and just, you know, appease the survival horror fans, which is the more, like, you know, moral thing to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the game that we're going to get isn't going to look as good as it could, because, you know, companies don't want to take the risk of making a game for a smaller audience.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what EA thinks. Like, we don't know. Honestly,
we don't know. But all we can do is patiently wait. But like, all I'm saying is that if we don't see anything by like 2016 at the most, then I'll just consider it dead. No pun intended. But like, I'll just consider it dead, because unless they come out with Dead Space, you know, the reboot, like what Doom did. But I think the reason why they did that with Doom is because it took so long for the fourth one to come out, so they just were like, fuck it, we're just gonna rebrand, like, the whole thing, and like, that's fine, you know, but it's like, come on, So
Well,
call it 4.
we can look at like other companies as well. Like for example, Square Enix. They made Tomb Raider, which was an amazing game,
Yeah.
and that game has high production values. I feel like the other Tomb Raiders are just mediocre, and I never got into them.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
But then, like, you know, along comes this reboot that just is complete revamp of the series. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. You know, it has an amazing character. And you know, I feel like Square Enix put in the extra money because they knew that their Tomb Raider, like their new Tomb Raider series would sell. And in doing so, the final product was a lot better. But they also complained that the game didn't really reach their expectations because they were expecting like Call of Duty-esque sales. It's like you're not gonna reach Call of Duty levels with a game like Tomb Raider. Like that, you know, when it comes to Call of Duty, that's just, it's so casual that anyone can pick up and play it, and that's why it sells so much.
Mhm.
It's because like people go to each other's,
It's casual gaming, yeah.
yeah, they go to each other's houses. They, you know, they play it on a friend's TV or they watch someone play it. Anyone can pick up and play Call of Duty. That's why it's so successful. But with a game like Tomb Raider, you know, I don't think as many people can get into that. So it's just Square Enix's fault for expecting too much. But I feel like they should take the risk and put in, you know, bigger budgets, because then you got game critics, you know, giving it high review scores, and then people are going to look at that and they're going to, you know, think of those games in high regard. The more you put into your game, the better the product is. But at the end of the day, they're just going to be like, well, you know, this isn't enough for the audience that we're trying to reach. But
Yeah,
here
I
they
mean-
are making like Rise of Tomb Raider. They still went with the sequel, even though they were, you know, dissatisfied with their sales. So you never know. Maybe EA is dissatisfied, but they might just come back and make a Dead Space 4 or a Dead Space, you know, whatever the subtitle's going to be. But it's way too early to tell, honestly, and we can have our suspicions, but like, you know, like you said, if it comes to 2016 and we still don't have a new Dead Space game, then you can pretty much consider it lost.
Yeah.
But again, you know, there have been sequels that come out like years later. Like, I don't know. What's another game that came out like 4 years after the previous game? Like, there are a few examples. They're not coming to mind right now, but I know they exist.
Well, are you including like spin-offs that were released until that actual number sequel, or are you just Max Payne 3?
There you go.
Perfect example.
Max Payne 3, yeah.
That
came
was
out
pushed,
more than-
dude. That was pushed back for like 3 years.
I remember it was announced in like 2009, and we didn't get it till fucking 12.
Yeah.
So,
And Max Payne 2 came out in 03 or 04.
and BioShock is another example. Infinite came out 3 years after 2.
I'm trying to think of more.
Metal Gear Solid, I think. Wait, no. Because we got like a bunch of, you know, obscure...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of stuff that, like, because I know Max Payne that had nothing. It's just Max Payne 1 through 3. There's no subtitle games or
Yeah.
anything.
I know, like, the MGS games, you had 4 and
Oh.
08. And
I
then,
got
like,
one.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, there you go.
Because Revolver came out in 2002. My dad had that game.
Yeah.
And then
And
Redemption came.
Redemption's pretty much like a remake, I guess.
Yeah, they consider it a sequel, but it's like a revamp of the whole, like, you know...
Yeah, but, like, is it a sequel in terms of storyline? Because...
No, but it's a sequel as, like... It's kind of like how Grand Theft Auto calls it 5, but has nothing to do with the other ones.
Yeah.
It's the same universe, but not, like, you know, just new characters.
Okay.
So that's
But
what
it's-
Rockstar usually does.
It's a remake in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. Like like what GTA did, like, that's another thing. The fourth one came out in 2008. Fifth one came out in 2013. So...
We had the expansion packs for GTA.
We did.
Mm,
But I think Red Dead's another good example.
Infamous, maybe? When did Infamous 2 come out? Wasn't that 2011?
I think so. Or 10. Wait.
No, it was... Because 1 was 09.
Okay, so 11 then. I think so.
And we got Second Son 3 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think
Soul
Killzone.
Calibur.
I think a Killzone had a 3-year gap too.
Soul Calibur 5 came out 4 years after Soul Calibur 4.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. You might want to bump that 3-year gap to like 5 years or something. If like Dead Space 4 doesn't come out 5 years from now, then it might be safer to call it a lost cause,
True.
because very few games survive, more than 3 years of development. What the fuck? I just got a comment. Nemesis, Resident Evil 3, the Nemend is the best one.
The Nemend.
Resident Evil 3, the Nemend.
Nemend.
The Nemend is the best one.
Yes.
Why do we get like these retarded comments?
I don't know. Maybe
I
we just
would-
make bad videos.
Probably.
Obviously suck at our jobs. Not making videos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
as you see, this puzzle is taking me way longer than it is to figure out.
No. As for Capcom, no idea what they're doing.
I just won't even, like, try to keep trying to find stuff to...
I feel like I was lied to.
I know.
Like I was actually, like, lied to.
By a person, yeah.
It's like, we're gonna announce something that's gonna sell 500 million copies. Fucking Dead Rising 3 DLC. That's it. Like, what else did they have at E3? Did they announce a new Street Fighter or something?
No, that wasn't, like, at E3. That was, like, tweeted by... Like, that was separate. That was just in a separate thing. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we just started development. But that's not, like, a big announcement. Like, that's not... That wasn't an announcement. That was them just saying, hey, we're starting a game. They said they were bringing a game to E... Like, they said they were showing off a game at E3 with the last game that sold 4-point-something million copies, and it's a big franchise, and that was pretty much the only thing they released recently that was a big franchise was RE6, and that sold that sold very well. It wasn't critically acclaimed, but it sold very well. Maybe not in Capcom's eyes, but that is very well.
But Capcom never showed anything at E3.
Yeah,
Like, they never showed
anything at
other than the DLC. Did they show
then-
anything?
No, and like they had their booths, like they showed like Dead Rising 3 for PC and stuff, but like they said they were going to announce something, and like because that's the thing I said they can make schedules all day they want, like all day long, but it's like they're not like announcing something is completely random. Like they're gonna go into it and just completely say, hey, guess what? Surprise! Here's like a trailer. You see the not yet rated sign or whatever, the warning this game contains blah blah blah. And then it cuts into Resident Evil trailer. Because strict inside sources from articles... Now, these were rumors, okay? But the first part of Capcom, that wasn't a rumor. But the hardcore rumors was that an inside source, maybe at Capcom, said to some person interviewing them that, it's a character we haven't seen in 10 years, and blah, blah, blah. And then later that week, we get the enhanced Veronica screenshot that was put on Capcom's website for a split second, and somebody actually happened to be cruising on the website and to see that at that particular moment, and they snapped a screenshot. A lot of people could say it was photoshopped. Looks real to me, but it looks real to me, but like at the same time, anybody could really make that. But I mean, like, because it looks pretty legitimate, but you never know. So we're like, okay, let's wait till E3. E3 comes, nothing. And there's this dickhead. Oh, look at that.
Pretty strong gun.
Yeah. I wonder what caused that.
Honestly, I'd rather, like, go out like this than the rest of the people.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, Isaac. I couldn't let him go through with it. I suppose I should thank you for finding the marker. We even managed without help from the USN Valor. Thank you for helping me find him, by the way. My department's been looking for this place for a long time. See what Kyne didn't know was? It was the government's mess to begin with.
Fucking bitch.
This whole planet is one big experiment. The marker?
I like how Isaac just stands there.
Divine relic.
Doesn't matter what you say to Isaac, he's just not going to say
Reverse
anything.
engineered it a couple of hundred years ago from the real marker. A true alien
You could fuck him
artifact
over in the
from
worst possible way, leave him for dead, and he's just
They dug it
like...
up, studied it,
We'll just stand there.
made it
His
their own.
answer is...
Then they brought it to Aegis 7.
And then when he moves, it's...
And you've seen the results.
It's just nothing.
The stuff of nightmares.
Isaac, I tortured and murdered your girlfriend.
Just...
And that's all it is. It's just,
DC blunders in and starts tearing the planet apart.
he doesn't say anything.
The only time he says something is when he's getting attacked.
Yeah.
Right about the hive mind.
It wasn't until 3 years later where he finally found a voice actor.
I have the
Mhm.
marker, and this entire system can go to hell.
So
what it's
Kendra's
worth,
leaving us
you did a great
for her
job.
own personal gain.
See you around. Or maybe not.
There's Nicole.
I need you to help me. Help us. Now. I'm in the flight control room.
Now, should we dive in about the dementia and how it could affect people on the ship? Or is that, you know, or should we wait for the next part for that?
Well, we have seen it with, like, you know, passengers. Like, one girl slits her own throat with a
Yeah.
saw blade. You know, another girl fucking laughs at the wall covered in blood. Like, people are just turning crazy. We got the fucking, you know,
Guy smacking his head against the wall.
yeah, the bearded douchebag
Yeah, that guy.
who wants to transcend into necromorph life. He's pretty crazy. Everybody we know in this game is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not really a coincidence.
The next part will pretty much wrap everything up pretty nicely.
Hmm.
And who knows, you know, maybe we'll eventually do the sequel.
Yeah, whenever you're up to it.
Hmm.
To be honest, this E3 was kind of
Isaac? Is that really
unsatisfying.
you? I never thought
Like
This
it
what?
felt, this E3,
Yeah, I know.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
like it felt that
I never wanted her
I got a really good meal, but it was a small
Get it back
meal.
now, Isaac.
So after eating it, I'm still hungry, you know?
Yeah, it's
Make us whole again.
it's
Make us
it's pretty much like, because that whole Resident Evil thing, pretty much everything I explained, guys, you know, who are out there listening, that's pretty much what Capcom did. They just, like, they said all those things, we heard those insiders, it was lining up perfectly, and then nothing happened. Will they, like, not announce something? I don't know, but, like I
Not
said,
just with like Resident Evil, but pretty much every game they showed off, I was like, okay, that doesn't look bad, but it looks okay, you know? There's a few games that I'm more interested in playing than others.
last
but-
year was all console-based, you know, E3, because Sony slammed Microsoft at that conference.
This is how you share games.
None of us
Not even that, like literally, when they announced the price tag, and they said, and you could share games as you please, like the crowd went nuts. When they were like, we're going to release this at 400, and you get to share it like that, like that's like because that was a big controversy, and then all of a sudden they're just like, and you can share your games as much as you want with whoever you want, and people just went nuts. They slammed them bad, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that was like a big moment, you know, last year. But it's like now, bring on the games. There's new IPs announced, but there's nothing.
I'm
Big.
most excited for, obviously, Evil Within and Alien Isolation.
And you got to play Last of Us.
And Last of Us, which comes out next month.
Yep. So that's pretty much the next new thing that you should definitely pick up. And because Richard hasn't played it yet, unlike me, who I have, but I'm going to be playing it again as well.
I'm going to try and go for the platinum, but again, I don't know. I'm not going to get platinum in every game, but
Get what you can. I mean, look at them and see how they are. Because with the Left Behind, the Left Behind trophies are pretty good too. They're pretty easy. There's collectibles in each thing, so it's like, you know, collectibles they're a bitch, but like you know they're there, and you know you should know if you're in the mood to get them. And if you're not, then wait. You know, just be like, hey, you know what? I can get every other trophy, but I'll just wait on these collectibles, and then you got stuff to work on. Because honestly, dude, without the trophies, the game has so much replay value alone. And believe me, because I didn't get like everything on the PS3, you know. So it's
but like trophies don't make a game, but they're just a nice bonus.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely. Like that's what I'm saying. I think like even without them, you're gonna get so much bonus shit. So when you even get more, like when you work on the trophies, you're gonna be fucking like, holy shit.
I feel like
you get the DLC on the disc.
Yeah.
Like, you get even more than what people got last June when it came out, plus me when I played it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I feel like Last of Us will have. It's gonna be that like multiplayer game that I play on the PS4.
yeah,
For until like I don't know, Call of Duty comes out or Destiny or something. But yeah, I know Last of Us like must have like a decent multiplayer component. I've seen gameplay of it and it looks pretty interesting.
yeah, it's different. But
Doing the right thing, Isaac.
all right, so here we go. That's the end of this chapter,
The way it always should have been.
pretty much.
I knew you'd come back.
We're trying to get out of here with Nicole.
Nothing could stop
Make us whole again, bitch.
And Jobby.
All right. That's that. Chapter 11. On to the next chapter. Titled Dead Space. Simply Dead Space. All right.